Once upon a time, there was a super smart alien named Moya who lived on a planet powered by chromium, a rich and powerful natural element centered in its core. Moya was the child of the king and queen, along with his twin sister Noya. One day, during a laboratory experiment, an explosion causes the death of not only hundreds of Nosomas, but the tragic death of the king and queen. A grief-ridden Noya has remained inside the only unruined portion of the laboratory. However, Moya's grief was suppressed, and soon all his memories of the royal family were nothing but a fickle of imaginary fairy tales. The king and queen had a higher leadership role with the Misomos. Once they passed, the aliens lost motivation to socialize and kept to themselves, and no one dared harvest chromium since their passing. Although Moya's intelligence helped him raise himself, being alone drew him into connecting to the fictional characters of Human Earth television. Moya started to form a bond with the humans on television and learned everything he could about Earth. Every day, Moya would watch human TV shows and movies. Moya admired the humans' ability to be artistically creative and work together in unifying ways that aliens don't. Moya longed for a sense of connection, forging relationships with the characters portrayed on television. And being all alone in the world, he wanted nothing more than to be with the humans on Earth. Until one day, the alien planet was getting too close to a black hole, and they all needed to leave. While all of the other Misomas were trying to develop a solution to the possible destruction of their planet, somewhere deep in the old laboratory was Noya. Since her parents' death, Noya has never been seen. Instead, she worked diligently forging the power of her planet. While many thought she was kidnapped, in reality she ran away to the only thing that ever made her feel close to her parents and her people. For years, Noya has been harnessing the power of her third eye through chromium, and a black hole provided the perfect opportunity to practice what she had spent so much of her life perfecting. Moya, on the other hand, saw this as an opportunity to create the life that he always wanted. Because of that, Moya wants to try to unite the Misomos using the knowledge he has gained from the TV shows of Earth in hopes to unify the aliens and work together to build a spaceship. The aliens see stars getting sucked in the black hole. Moya sums up the courage and goes to each individual alien to let them know to meet at the old chromium harvesting laboratory. At the meeting, Moya gives an inspirational speech to unify them. The speech is a combination of lines Moya has memorized from the movies they watched. Unbeknownst to them, Noya was listening to Moya's speech and rushes out to stop the plan from further developing. She urges them to understand the importance of staying on their planet. Moya is shocked, but assures the other Misomos to understand that they need to act quick and be deliberate about their plan. After the speech, Noya rushes to Moya in hopes to stop her brother from making a grave mistake. However, Noya is confused as to why someone would want to stay on the planet. Moya disregards Noya's persistence and leaves. Moya and the Misomos have a group conversation to decide to make a spaceship. Moya delegates tasks to different aliens to build the ship. One alien is responsible for coming up where to go. They research all the options, and Moya shares the options with the aliens. The aliens vote to go to Mars. Moya is placed in charge of setting the coordinates. Moya also ensures that every Misomo comes on the ship, but he notices that one Misomo is missing, Noya. Because of that, Moya rushes inside the laboratory to find Noya. After some searching, Moya finds Noya in a room. The walls of the room are littered with drawings, maps, and codes. Noya is standing at a lab table working. Moya confronts Noya as to why she is not on the spaceship, but Noya ignores. Moya becomes a little more aggressive in his tone, not accepting being ignored, and approaches Noya. In a flash, Noya whips around and touches her third eye to Moya's. Moya is hit with a hot white flash, and almost as if he has been living all his life in the dark and has now just stepped in light. Memories come sweeping in. Forgotten childhood memories. Memories of his family, his sister, Noya, the powerful united planet that once was. The explosion, losing his family. Moya is taken aback, stunned, and then angry. If so much was lost by one planet, then why would anyone want to stay? Even Noya tried to run away to hide from the pain. However, Noya is living in the same laboratory that killed their parents was not her running away, but instead trying to remain as close as possible, though in turn she abandoned her only real connection to her parents, Moya. Although he is still in pain and angered by her leaving him to live a life of loneliness, Moya realizes that now he will never have to do that again. But Noya is persistent on staying on planet M, despite whatever may come from the black hole. She assures him that just like before, no matter where they are in the world, she will always be with him. Unnerved, Moya turns to go, leaving Noya behind. He gets on the spaceship. In hopes of still getting his happy ending, Moya resets the spaceship's coordinates to planet Earth. Because of that, when the ship has approached Earth, they get mad at Moya for deceiving them, which makes Moya upset because they were just trying to help their people. The aliens are both excited and anxious as the ship approaches Mars. Moya's ship lands on Earth. The ship lands near a big city close to a 2-lane highway. People on the highway stop to look, and there are 2 minor accidents. Government officials use fire roads and helicopters to ride on scene shortly afterwards. Government officials surround the ship, and the citizens fight each other to get a closer look. Moya sees the chaos through the ship's screen security camera. Moya finds out that human society is divided and imperfect, unlike the Hollywood image shown in the media. Moya is devastated, and the minority of aliens that had been secretly interested in Earth are now intimidated by Earth. They are there for a few hours, trying to decide what to do and what the safest option is. It's very tense, and they kind of feel trapped in their own ship, since it's surrounded. Through the ship's camera, Moya sees the government officials using radios to communicate with each other. Moya and a few other aliens observe the radios and make a drawing to go off of, and hypothesize what technology is inside. Once they make a basic plan, they pull together extra parts and take apart some less useful items, and they create a radio. After adjusting the frequency, they make a radio connection with NASA. NASA is disorganized and unprepared for aliens to land on Earth. They're even more thrown off that Moya speaks English. NASA staff are very stressed and are getting pressure from the US military. They start the conversation in a patronizing way, but the tone changes when they feel threatened by Moya's knowledge of Earth. The conversation ends with Moya expressing that the aliens are leaving Earth, and NASA communicates with other governments to allow the aliens to leave in peace. Without ever leaving the ship, they head to Mars. Once on Mars, they build their own community. The landscape is somewhat similar to their home planet, so they feel comfortable pretty quickly. Ever since, Moya has accepted that they can never truly be human, but they can instead be humane. Moya mourns the loss for the ideal of human society as united. Moya eventually forgives the humans for their divisiveness, and Moya learns to forgive himself and Moya. Moya opens up his heart to be compassionate towards himself, other aliens, and humans. Moya decides to make a radio to keep into contact with humans. In order for Moya to make a better advanced radio setup, Moya decides to take apart their old TV set that they watched movies on. They exchange knowledge, Moya sharing scientific advancements, and the humans share knowledge on community and political structures. The Masomas claim that Mars as their planet, and they create a set of rules on social advancements and global peace measures that humans must meet on their own planet before they can send humans to Mars. While this does not meet the Hollywood image ideal, it significantly improves conditions for large populations of people around the world.